21, chapter 11, number 21. We are doing chapter 11, number 21. So we're back to the basketball game. So late in the basketball game, the team that is behind often fouls someone in an attempt to get the ball back. Usually the opposing player will get to shoot foul shots 1-and-1. Okay, so this is the 1-and-1 that we were talking about a couple of days ago. Meaning he gets a shot, or she gets a shot, and then a second shot only if she makes the first one. The player has made 72% of his foul shots this season. So 72% free throw shooter. Estimate the number of points he will score, or she will score, in a 1-and-1 situation. Okay, so let's just make sure we understand the problem clearly. The 1-and-1 situation, what's the maximum number of points you can score? A 1-and-1 situation. No?
Two.
The most number of points you can score is 2. You make the first shot, and then you get a chance at a second shot, and you make the second shot. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yes.
What is the least number of points you can make in a 1-on-1 situation?
0.
That's right, very good. And can you make 1 point?
Yes.
You could make 1 point. I think you could make 1 point. You just make your first shot and you miss the second, right? That makes sense? Okay, so we're trying to figure out, estimate the number of points that can be scored in a 1-on-1 situation. So I think what I would do, I don't know if this works. Well, no, what would you do? Who's got an idea on this one here?
I have a question.
Yes, please. Question.
For a 1-on-1 situation, is this only, I want to know with the whole, what's the max you can get? Is that only counting basketball, or is for either for the 1-on-1 situation, can you get only max 2?
I'm not sure I understand.
Okay, because I'm like thinking as plays for basketball, just
Yeah.
like 2 points if you're getting a free throw shot,
Right.
you get 2. So I was wondering if this just applies to basketball with the free throws, or it's just for every 1-on-1 situation, the max number you can get is 2 and then
I don't know. I mean, I can only visualize it in terms of basketball because I don't know any other sports that offer like a 1-on-1 kind of a situation.
Okay, then that's just.
So I don't know any other sports that do that. Does anybody know of a sport that does that? 1-on-1 other than basketball?
But you get 2 and you
That's why you go for the 2 extra.
Maybe you make the first one.
Well, you get 2. Lots of times you'll get 2 free throws, but that doesn't matter whether you make the first one or not. So the 1-on-1 is kind of particular in that you kind of, it's kind of like giving you a bonus if you make the first shot.
Yeah.
You get an extra one, but if you don't make the first shot, too bad.
So what about football? Oh, you get 1 point. But you get 2 points for
You get 2 points for a kick.
You get one point if you kick it out to the touchdown, and you get 2 points if you.
But if you run it back inside.
Then you get 2.
You get 2.
Yeah, but that's a different situation altogether.
You get 6, and then when you kick it, you get 7.
Yeah, you
Right.
get 1 for the
So you go for a 3-point conversion. Yeah. It depends.
Well, yeah, we can. All right. So, you know, this is a definite difference between boys' schools and girls' schools. It's sports problems.
So this book still.
I say this book has a problem with that. I say this book has too many sports analogies.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Cars.
Yeah. And cars.
What do you want to have, Barton?
Barbie.
No, that's kind of new shopping.
Shopping problems, and I don't know. Then we're getting okay, fine. So as we were saying, right? How are we gonna set this guy up here? How many points are they likely to make? You want to give it a try? What do you think?
What I did was 1 through 100 on the random integer.
Okay, so math on the random integer, 5. Okay,
And
and
then
you're
I-
gonna go 1 through 100,
And I did 2, so I can see 2 at a time.
comma 2. Now, why did you pick 1 through 100?
Because 72% of the time they're going to make it. So if the first number is 72 or under, it's going to be a point.
It's a
And then-
1 point.
73 to 100 is going to be no points. I think that's how I did it. Yeah, and then when I looked at when I put that in, see they didn't make it the first time, so they get 0 points for that.
So, but what did you think about the second number? If they didn't make it the first time, what about the second number?
Just disregard it.
That's right.
Wait.
Yes. Repeat.
Okay, so because they didn't make it the first time, they didn't get any points, so you just disregard the second number. But if they made it the first time, then you would look at the second number to see if they got 2 points or none.
It's a one-on-one situation.
You only get a second. You only get a second shot if you make the first shot.
In real basketball? Or
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
real
real.
basketball.
Yes. You only get that's in particular kind of a situation.
Wait, there's 3 different certain things. There's free throws, so you get 2. There's A and 1 where you make the first. If you make the first, you get another try. And then there's A and 1, and that means you get the basket and you get a free throw. So you get a chance to make play for 3.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I just want to clarify this. So, if I do make the first one,
If you make the first one,
that means I have to look at the second.
that means you have to look at the second one.
So, if the second one is 73 through 100, that means I didn't make it.
That's correct.
Okay, so if I didn't make it the first time, do I just write a 0? Or-
Yes, and that's what we have right here. So this was the first attempt, right? The person was fouled, and they step up to the free throw line, and they're taking their shots, right? And they miss the first one, balls in play. That's the end of their free throw turn. So they made on their first attempt, the first time this happened, they got 0 points. Okay. So now we do a second one, right? So what happened on this one? They made the first one, right? And they made the second one, right? So in this particular episode at the free throw line, they got 2 points. And then the next time, they made them both again, right? Did everybody see that? Are we okay with that? Charlie, go ahead.
Sorry.
Huh?
For you only have 1 and then 100 and then 2.
Mm-hmm.
Why 1? I thought you could also potentially get 0.
Well, so where the 1 to 100 has to do with the percentages that we're looking for. So there's only 100% possible, and they are a 72% free throw shooter. So if the number comes up 1 to 72, which would be 72%, that's a point. That's a made shot. And if it comes up 73 to 100, that's a missed shot. Right, so the 1 to 100 has nothing to do with how many points are involved.
But the 2 does, because the 2 is the most you can get.
The 2 does because I just want to see him. Yeah, the most you can have is 2 shots. That's correct. That's right. I mean, let's finish this one and then we'll go. So now I have another one. Again, we made them both. Yeah. Is that right? Okay. So I got another 2. I said. Oh, I'm holding the pen. That's why. Okay. So again, they made them both. Yep. And again, they made them both. And again, oh, so now this one here, they made the first shot, but they missed the second shot. 1 point.
Are we doing this for 10 times?
I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'll do it 10 times. I'm not going to do 20. That'd be too boring. Okay. 5 to 85.
Yes.
How many points?
1.
1 point. How many points?
No point.
No points. What if the numbers turned out to be, 85 and 3?
No point.
But the 3 counts, doesn't it?
No, but you don't count.
I just want to make sure everybody's with it here. This one here? 2? All right, so I think we have enough, huh? So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Out of 10 tries. So I'd say, looking at this, we go 14, we divide it by 10, 1.4 shots, 1.4 points per time that this kind of foul is committed. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Mr. Student Director, you could also please come to the front office?
Yes.
You said, what is the last part of the argument?
Okay. The question asked, estimate the number of points she will score in this kind of a foul situation, this one-on-one situation. So, estimate. I mean, you can't score 1.4 points, right? But on average, that's what we would expect if we were doing some statistical calculations. if I'm the basketball coach and I say, well, we're in a one-on-one situation, and we're 3 points behind, you know, I could do this twice and they're still behind, you know, because on average, yeah.
So, how many times should we do the randomness? Just 10 or 20?
I'll tell you
Okay.
on the test. I'll tell you on the test.
Okay.
But if I don't say do it 20 times, okay? If I don't say don't do it 20 times, or if I don't say raise your hand and say, Mr. Jenkins, how many times should we do the random test?
Also on the test, like, if the number, they're obviously not going to all be the same, right?
No, you will have different numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, if somebody came up with a number of 3 here, yeah, that would be bad. Because the maximum was 2,
Right.
right? You know, so, but if somebody came up with 2 and that's what their results were, you know, and somebody came up with 0, I mean, it is unlikely, but it's definitely within the realm of possibility. Yeah.
Why is it that for like the last problem that we did, like we did yesterday, we had added like the numbers we got, we added the pairs? Or wait, no, never mind.
I don't remember the problem, but,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, yeah. Right.
So if you did like more and more simulations and like there were 2 people doing these simulations, would it be true that the more simulations you did, the closer your answers would be?
Yes, that is true. So, you know, I have to... Does the word